I would love to keep my channel going. The trouble is, number one, I don't have a camera person. Number two, I can't afford a good camera that has equipped with time-lapse, as you guys call it nowadays. I call it, back in my time, it was known as fast-forwarding. And number three, editing. The editing takes the longest. Welcome to my channel, Ken's Hobbies. Ken Lind here. Today's going to be just a few odds and ends today that's got to get done. They're just little small items, but they add up. So we're going to make a fuel filter here today for my tank on the wall. I'm going to explain about the pistons here, my compressor, and a pressure hose issue that I have. There are three of the topics of today. So, which one do I start with? I think I'm going to start with number one, the fuel filter. I have a little trick I'd like to show you guys that I came across. And that's why another one of the reasons why I decided to, well, let's make a short little video here. I have some other explaining too to do. So anyway, let's get at it here. I'm going to just readjust my camera here so we can see what I'm up to. Okay, so we have our hose here, but you see we can't get it over the lip. So here's the trick that I have learned. We heat it up here just a bit. We can usually will slip over that locking nut with a little force, of course. Not quite enough. Gotta be fast, and I'm slow. There we are. Just like that, we're over the locking part. Oh, we got this clamp here. I used to have a good pair of those clamp pliers, but I no longer have them. So here's the trick with a pair of channel locks. If you get it just right, you can move it. Just like that. Okay. Now, we put a reducer here, so the 3/8 here down to a smaller inside diameter on this one. But I don't know if that's on my other side here, so we're going to leave this like that for now. So that's item number one done. So this can come out of the vise now. Now I'll put that over by my tank. Okay, next item. Pressure hose. Right. This little fitting here was on the actual pressure pump side. I ran into a problem with my hose there. I don't have quick couplers for this, and here's the problem I ran into. If you look at the inside diameter of this, you can see that we're at 5/8. This was under that. As you can see, it's a less there. So we have to bore the inside out a little bit here. It was no problem for this if I was to use the quick coupler to hook on the machine, which, like I said, I don't want. So I yesterday was playing around with and trying to figure out a method how, when I haven't got a lathe, it would have been easy if I had a lathe to just put this in the lathe, ream it out. So I made my own reamer, and that's what I want to show. If you have to do there's a way of doing it. One is I took an old bolt here, and as you see, I cut a notch, the head off the bolt, cut a notch here with a light taper so you could put your emery cloth in here, and then you just need to work it around like that. Takes time, but with the end of the hose go right here. I got around to now being able to on the tight side, but that will now go in there. So when I tighten this up now, this has got to be secure. So this will be on the machine. So I'll just use the vise here, pretending that's the machine. And you can see it's sucking that in. So that solved that problem. I have to do the same thing with the wand, bore the middle out a bit. Okay, last item. This old compressor I'm rebuilding. I have still been trying to find rings. I finally found a set after months of searching. So there's the rings. And I found them on good old Amazon. I hunted all over Prince George, our city, with that there. On the one note that they didn't have it, but he figured the size out at 51 millimeter. So with that information, I was able to go on Amazon, and there we are. Only thing is, when I ordered it went there, I wasn't 100% sure, so I only ordered one set. One set only does one piston. So I had to go online, order another set. Now I gotta wait till the middle of the month before I get the next set. Meantime, I was going to put the first piston in, and I discovered a problem. I'll show you the problem, then I'll explain it. Normally, if you want to go by the top, you can't get the rod through the cylinder. So, here was the problem. I'll bring this a little closer so you can try to see. I don't know if the camera will show it, but on the bottom side, if you went this way, even with the ring compressor, as soon as against here, it's still caught here on this there, and as soon as it left the ring there, compressor, they'd fly open. That's how I bulked the rings, trying to put the pistons in from the bottom, so the conrod could stay on the piston. Well, that didn't work. So I'm figuring, okay, that doesn't work that way. That is the reason you've seen the pistons on the top. And you see, I've got the conrod separated from the piston. Now it's important to keep them in order, so we'll have there. Now how I achieved that, I started thinking about this. So off camera last night I was experimenting. And I was thinking about how the devil can I do it. And I came up with the answer. Knock the wrist pin out, pull it out, put the rings on, put the piston in. Once the piston is in, it's a little tricky to get it in without a little tapping here and there. I'll get it straight. Houston will get a problem. That's not good. I don't like that. Try it from the other way. Oh boy. I even tried that, and I stubbed. That's how I broke the second one. Trying to put this in like that, making it so that it was even. That didn't work. So, yeah, there we are. So when I got that, you see once the piston's in, let's turn this upside down, I can get the wrist pin back in. So that's the pattern I will use. I think I'll take and hone that out. That one has a little bit of a ridge. I'll take and hone it out. In any way, that was item number 3. We have that figured out. So. Okay, where did I just put it? Right there. I want to keep them together so it's all ready when I get the second set of rings. Anyhow, the last video I had now, I got some news that I'm going to say out loud. I got 2 major projects this year that I want to get done. Number 1 is my boat. And number 2 is my car, the Crown Victoria. I am debating now, after the last few videos of the 2 finished albums that I put on. I've been watching my channel very closely. Brewed me a cup of coffee. So I'm thinking how I can word this carefully. Okay. Now first of all, the finished Songs and Dances album. I see I've been getting the most views on it. There was one track on that album that did have copyright on it. And if I was to eliminate it, I couldn't put complete album, full album, as one of the playlists. And like I said before, I can't figure out how all tracks of a record could go on as a full album on YouTube. That's why I had to do it individually, as I said before. Now, with the last video I made explaining about the previous 24 videos of these 2 albums, in 2 weeks I only had 3 views. That's the poorest I've ever had since I first started my channel back in April 4 years ago. This marking the anniversary month of when I started my channel, hoping to make a few extra dollars from YouTube. But I heard and I followed and I found the videos saying that YouTube, if they see a video, pushes that video more. Now, I'm going to use Matt's Off-Road Recovery as my example, as well as Vice Grip Garage. They're 2 I follow steady. First of all, look at the amount of subscribers both of them have. They're in the millions. Since I started my channel, I've got 111 subscribers, and I thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. But here's the setback. Before I can get fully monetized, I need 500 subscribers. It used to be 1,000. And at the rate this is going, I cannot see 500 subscribers coming. I'll be 77 years old this year, if I even make it to that. The way my health has been going, I'm in the question. Everybody's telling me, oh, I'll make it. I'm hoping so. But that operation really set me back. So, like I mentioned, I only had 2 major projects that I want to get done, that I have already started playlists on. And that is the boat and the car. My main goal is the boat as the first of the 2 main items, to get that done, because I have got that boat to go to my 3rd son when I go. So that is why I'm making this particular video, because at the rate that's going, like I said, with that one getting the copyright, even though it said it's allowed to be used on YouTube. When I check the info on the copyright, it says will allow on YouTube. So that's why I left it in the album. That is, of course, being a Viljo Terpenen. Your English, it'd be viola. That is the Finnish way of saying it. So, with one track there, if I was to take that one track out, like I said before, I cannot call it a full album. And with the amount of subscribers that I've got and the amount of views, especially that last one, with only 3 views, I have been thinking I'm going to be giving up on this idea of my channel, because as I see, with all the ones that I did as my hobby, which is my hobby of music, I'm getting the most views on music, with the highest one being the Johnny Cash history of country music. That was not my intention of the channel for music. It was more to show anything I could do that I could pass on in tips or how to do things for others. So I'm thinking that I think from this after this video, it'll only be when I do work on the boat or when I work on the car. I might finish showing this compressor when I get that second set of rings, because I already started it. So I'd like to have the finished item as the closing of that project. Once again, I thank all those 111 subscribers and all those that have watched my channel. Thank you very much. So greatly appreciated. That being said, I'm going to say adios, peace. Now, with that peace, I see a couple other channels saying peace at the end. Let's talk about peace. Okay, the hippies, they're the ones that came out with this peace during the hippie era. Now in the scriptures, Jesus says, peace be unto you all. And I did want to explain a little bit about that. One more thing I'd like to also add in. I would love to keep my channel going. The trouble is, number 1, I don't have a camera person. Number 2, I can't afford a good camera that has equipped with time-lapse, as you guys call it nowadays. I call it, back in my time, it was known as fast-forwarding. And number 3, editing. The editing takes the longest. That being said, number 4, I, on a pension income, cannot afford the first item. It's the same thing with the second item. So, without your support, I will never see that 500 subscribers. I already can see that. 4 years has told me that. When I've seen other channels come well after I have started, and they're already hundreds of subscribers with thousands of views. So it tells me I am not doing good at all. Only you could change that. And we'll hopefully catch you on the next one. So, peace be unto you all. Bye for now. And that's basically what adios means.